Yes, I'm sure I want to start the goddamn streak. Yes.
El Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga. Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello, world. It's Bird o' Prey 5 Cupslaw, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, November 3rd, 2023, 11323. Very mathematically interesting number, perhaps. John Araki first in the chat today. Krapla, John Araki, who says Krapla. And John Araki gives us a 99-cent super poop, super sticky to start out the stream today. Thank you, John Araki. Let's see, what can we run for you, John Araki? You've frequently given 99 cents to the channel before. It shouldn't be hard to find one I can replay. And yet, of course, it's taking time indeed to find. Why is it making life so difficult? Who is messaging me? Oh, good. YouTube, live on your channel. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate that you know what is indeed. I am live on my channel. God damn it. I know there's a mess. I am 100% certain. John Araki, there we go. John Araki. Oh, he gets it's a fake. It's a fake. Yes, it is no longer. It is no longer rejoined day. We are back to the usual, and so as of earlier today, I believe it is now a 1 in 5 chance of getting kissing Dax, possibly 2 in 5 chance of getting kissing Dax as a super chat. But there were also maybe it's 6. I believe there were 4 or 5 other options, of which it's a fake is of course one of the usual other possibilities for super chats. Donations has not been affected. Not Ryan Johnson says hello in Kapla. Hail Karoga, not Ryan Johnson. Jedi Bill says Kapla, brother warrior, Brittle Prey 5, and all should hail Karoga. Thank you, Jedi Bill, with a birdo prey and alpaca, mamo prey, sassy, nephew o prey, custom emoji. John Araki wants a rant, puts in several rant emojis. Thank you, John Araki. I don't know. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. Schwario says, hello, you all. Kapla, Schwario. And Schwario says, Kapla, Bird, hope you and the other Oprays are doing well today. I appreciate that, Schwario. Hope you're doing well. I have seen a number of video game clips you've uploaded recently. I hope you're doing well with those. Carlo Albanese says, Bed Life, it's a stream by Berto Bray 5. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Singing along. Let's all sing along to Carlo's Bed Life. And Yvette with a £2 sterling super chat. Thank you, Yvette. Says, fingers crossed for kissing Dax for you all. Indeed, it is a worthy endeavor to cross your fingers. Carlo Albanese has a mamo pray, birdo pray, sisso pray, nephew o pray, and sassy and a hug emojis. Thank you, Carlo. Schwario says, Bed Life. It's a stream by Berto Prey. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, indeed. Thank you, Schwario. And it's a catchy tune. It's a catchy tune, of course, sung by Piano Dean and played by me when I can, but sung by Piano Dean. Carlo Albanese says, this stream is about to begin. Please remember your popcorn, your drink of choice, and smoke them if you got them. Schwario says, my drink of choice is Mountain Dew. Gorilla has random thoughts. Says, Kapla, gotta only lurk in doghouse at work. I'm sorry to hear that, Gorilla. I am very sorry to hear that. And Yvette's £2 sterling did not get it's a fake, but Khan! Kirk yelling Khan from Star Trek 2. It's one of the new ones in the ring. It's one of the new ones in the possibilities of super chats. Yeah, it's different than it's a fake. Okay, it's something. It's something. Gorilla's in the doghouse at work. Miss Lodell's groovy movie says, Kapla, Batleth held high. Batleth to the face. Schwario says Gorilla thoughts to Gorilla's random thoughts. And also hello to Mr. Lodell. Carlos says, I think we're early. Yeah, I was a little late. Carlo. Carlo says, oh my God, at 4:04, 4 minutes late. Carlo says, Mamo Pray, can you wake up Berto Pray, please? I wasn't asleep. Truth be told, I was updating the member list. I thought I had enough time. I started to update the member list with about 11 minutes to go. But of course, anytime you're trying to rush through something, it never works. And YouTube was having a conundrum or whatever. I couldn't get the file to download right. And then once I did, I had to just, I have it down to splitting it up into 3 parts. And John Araki with another $1 super chat. Thank you, John Araki. And Captain Phantom Nerd also with a $1 super chat coming in. Thank you guys, both of you. We'll see. Apparently we're on con. We're on con today. These should be better randomized. We shouldn't have to see only con. We hope we get some other options. But yeah. Yeah. I wasn't asleep. I was putting together the new members list because of all the new members we got last week. And yeah, it takes a little getting used to, but I think I've got it down to a pretty decent science. Okay, maybe I needed more than 10 minutes. Maybe I needed 15, but it was close. It was close. John DeMarco says, greetings all. Greetings, John. Captain Fan of Nerd says, hello, Captain.
Captain's log started
And
7:41,
there is Captain Fan of Nerd
Our
getting
best
the
estimates place us some 4 hours. from
Captain Kirk slapping himself in the face back and forth. He'll be hurting in the morning. Captain Fan of Nerd says, hello. Words in pictures says, Kapla Birdo Pray 5. Good to hear you. Good to be here. I'm glad you're sure you want to start the goddamn stream. Yeah, the fucking software at the beginning. Are you sure you want to start? Every fucking time. Yes, I'm sure. Why would I press the goddamn button to go live if I wasn't sure I wanted to go live? But whatever. We're here now. That's what counts. And I didn't get my goddamn nap in. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Schwario says hello to Captain Fandom Nerd. John Aragi says, hashtag give your waitress the tip. Absolutely. And the Traveler, Kapla the Traveler, with a $2 super chat, says, we the people want a Mamo Prete. Traveler, I can't promise. I can't promise. We'll see what happens. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Schwario says hello to Captain Phantom Nerd. Jedi Bill with a retracted message. Somebody was at the door, but now they're walking away. No idea. They're back at the street. The Traveler it's a fake. Was it the food, Mama Frey? Sassy is going to investigate. Sassy, is it food, baby? It'd be really weird for the guy to walk the food all the way from across the street to here. Is it the food? Yes. Poor Mama Frey. He's carrying a heavy case of water. There's not. Oh, it's not the water. It's the rest of them. Oh, heavier than the water. Jesus Christ. Oh, with eggs on top. Oh, God.
Better than on the bottom.
Yeah, I guess better than the eggs on the bottom. Poor Mama Frey.
Case of water is nothing.
Case of water is nothing compared to what she's just carrying.
Well done.
Okay. The voice we want to hear, says Carl Albanese. That's not the voice you want to hear not till she's done carrying it. John, hashtag give your waitress a tip. I wish I could, because Mama praised the waitress. Carlos says, we the people ask for entertainment. I hope to deliver some. Carlos says, I high hopes everyone is as well as can be. I've got high hopes, high apple pie in the sky hopes. That's the Frank Sinatra singing High Hopes. What could make that ant think? Whatever. I don't know. There goes a 1,000-kilowatt dam. Mount Sinai. I don't know. Hello.
Good afternoon. It is Mr. Joseph DiBiase.
It is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. It was a phone call. They'll call back. We'll talk next week. Nothing particularly important. We the people, says Schwario. Yes, asking for entertainment. Sorry, that phone call was not entertainment. I was hoping it might have been, but it wasn't. Carlo Albanese says, hi, hope everyone's well as can be. And a hail Karoga, absolutely. Hail Karoga. Dan Ben says, my YouTube app just updated. Hakeem says, hey, Bird, and all, hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, Hakeem. Dan Ben says, now Lower Decks season 4 has finished. What is the next Star Trek? Well, I guess the next Trek that will be upcoming is Discovery season 5. Not that I'm looking forward to Star Trek Discovery season 5, other than to say that it'll finally be over. Once season 5 is over, Discovery is over, thankfully. And, the end of an era, not an era, ERA, an error, ERROR, in Star Trek, finally. Although the error continues because Strange New World is a direct continuation of Discovery. So I know some people refuse, and I'm not talking about salty, but there are people in the Trek universe, even like if you watch Doug Drexler and his recent interview on the Shuttlepod Show podcast, Doug Drexler himself, he's like, he looks at Strange New Worlds and Discovery as a separate timeline, completely separate timeline than what happened before. And what he does is he says, well, Picard season 3 under Terry Matalas is a continuation of so-called Legacy Trek. And Legacy Trek, which is basically all Star Trek before 2009. So, TOS, TNG, Enterprise, DS9, Voyager, the animated series. That's all Legacy Trek. That's all one timeline to him. And the JJ movies was a separate timeline. And to him, Discovery and Strange New Worlds and even Picard seasons 1 and 2 were yet another timeline. And basically the good stuff was its own time. Now that he doesn't make or set the timelines, but it's certainly one a lot of us would prefer, although I would prefer that all of Picard, including season 3, be an alternate timeline as well, because it just doesn't make sense that so much would be different from Picard season 3 through TOS or through TNG, that it would all be in its own time. There's no reason not to have yet another separate time for Picard season 3. And then as for what else I'll be watching this week, also ended the final episode of, I believe the final episode of Loki. Not that I've watched it yet, and I honestly could not care less about what's happening on Loki. It's been something I've watched just to watch for the hell of it, but I never cared from the beginning what happened or what was going to happen or how it would end. Never cared. Still don't care. Whatever it is, it is. What I do care about a little bit has been Gen V, the boys spin-off. That final episode was released. I haven't watched it yet, but I do care about that. But then, more importantly than any of that, a week from today, November 10th, will begin the 4th season of For All Mankind. For All Mankind, season 4 starts 1 week from today, and that will be 1 episode a week for 10 weeks. And I'll be honest, just watching over had recently rewatched season 3 of For All Mankind, and really looking forward to season 4. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, I strongly recommend you tune in and check it out. It'll be on Apple TV. So that's what's after Star Trek. for me. Thank you again. Thank you again, Yvette, for fingers crossed for kissing back. The Travelers is Bird Prey 5. I miss the days when I could say, greetings, birds, turds, and nerds, but the anti-trekker had to get all salty on us. Yeah, well, it is what it is. John Araki says, perhaps today is a good day to dax. Every day is a good day to dax. Schwario says, Bird of Prey 5, thanks for watching my channel, Bird. I'll be putting up more clips soon. No worries, I'll enjoy it. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz is Kapla Bird. Happy Friday and hail Karoga. Happy Friday to you, executive producer Saul Leibowitz. Schwario says, Con! Captain Fandom Nerd with the $1. Welcome, Captain. Carlos says, time enough at last. Ken Jack Van says, Vertebrae 5, greetings and salutations from Vallejo, California. I hope Vallejo is doing well. I was thinking I've been to Vallejo, but it was not Vallejo I was at. It was Ojai I was at. Why would I confuse Vallejo and Ojai? I don't know, but I did. Sorry. Carlo Albanese says Twilight Zone. I heard it. Low Specs Linux laptop is in the house. Welcome, Low Specs Linux laptop. Ken Jack Ben says, why you're hitting yourself? Like, I like that one. Why you keep hitting yourself? Carla Albanese says, are you sure your pants are on before you go live? I don't check these things, Carlo. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello to Schwario. Jedi Bill says, I think LDG is asleep at the wheel again. Very possible. Carla Albanese also wants a Mamo Prey Tale. Ken Jack Ben says, on my phone, I accidentally pressed the go live. I quickly deleted that video. LDG says, afternoon, folks. Welcome, LDG. Carlos says, LDG, last Dragon grad. LDG says, sorry, Deej. I called. I literally just got the Travelers is Vertebrae 5. I wish I lived across the street so I could help Mamo Prey with the heavy lifting. Traveler, I know you do. And I actually sincerely do believe you mean that. And she knows you mean it too. And she thanks him. She thanks you for that sentiment as well. We appreciate it. Those that said, thank you, whether you live across the street, across the country. LDG says, what's going on? Seeing my name in the chat is usually not a good thing. The Travelers is Vertebrae 5. Bird doesn't want us to hear his FBI phone. Well, that's true. Carlo Albanese calls for an intermission. Carlo says, stay tuned for more bird fun. It's the feds, says Mike Richards. No, it's not the feds. They call on a different number. Ken Jack Vans is Vertebrae 5 just popped in to see how you're doing. I'm going to go take a good nap day, and God bless. Indeed, have a great nap there, Ken Jack. Jedi Bill says, was anyone else upset with the season finale of Gen V? Because I am, because I have to wait longer for season 2. I have not yet seen the season finale, Jedi Bill. I'll tell you, I am annoyed at these particularly short seasons. What is this going to be, the 6th or 7th episode? And they're calling it the end of the season. I thought 10 episodes. I thought 10 episodes this season was already pretty bad. Now we're working on fucking 6 episodes? 6? That's bullshit. There are people that make their lives. How are they supposed to make their life off of a single series? If oh my God, the entire season is six episodes. Now, granted, it could take you a week to shoot it, 2 weeks even. I guess you got plenty of time, but bullshit. TV should be able to be shot, edited, and all ready to air within 7 days. Within 7 days. Preferably 5. These people that want to push it together as tightly as they can, it's just crazy. Carlos says, intermission, stay tuned for more bird fun. Mike Richards, again, it's the feds. Dan Benz's Academy Show and Section 31 movie event. Maybe. Jedi Bills is Gen V rant. Gen V rant. Dan Benz is timeline rant. John DeMarco says the problem with trying to include Picard season 3 with legacy track, aside from the show's quality issues, is that it connects too much with previous seasons. Yeah. Dan Ben says because Q. The Traveler says I zoned out. What is Bird talking about? I'm talking about you. Dan Ben says TV. LDG says season finale of Gen V was excellent. Carlo Albanese says no one will ever know what Bird is truly talking about. Cody Guy is waving. Welcome, Cody Guy. Dan Van is lolling. Jedi Bill says hello, LDG. Hope you watch Gen V finale. I'm upset and disappointed. The Traveler says Bird of Prey 5. I wish I could go back in time and watch the first Bird of Prey 5 live stream. Wait, I can. Well, you can't go back in time, but you can watch the first Bird of Prey 5 live stream. The Traveler says, I want to clarify, I don't wish I lived in New York. More like I want a portal or a transporter to your house. That I could understand. Yeah, in fact, maybe it's better. It's better for both of us, right? It's better for me. It's better for you. It's better for them if you don't live here. But you could transport here whenever necessary. Bird rant, is yelling the Traveler. We want more bird rant, says the Traveler. Jedi Bill says it's the 8th or 9th, I think. Either way. Is it the 8th? It is the 8th or 9th. Mike Richards is laughing. Carlos says TV shows should be live by now. Should be live by now. John DeMarco says the days of 26 episodes per season seem like the distant past. Seem like a distant past at this point. And Jedi Bill says, okay, Gen V has 8 episodes. Then the 8th is only 39 minutes long. The Travelers is also better for the whales. Mike Richards says to John DeMarco, I wish you would quit reading my mind. Ooh, spooky. Spooky. And John DeMarco just says, oops. Oops. Okay. Let's see. We have some dear bops. There was some shenanigans. There was some shenanigans going on with the dear bops. There were 76 dear bops thereabouts that all came in over the course of the same minute yesterday. Or technically Thursday. I didn't notice them until yesterday. As it turned out, and I erased the rest of them, but someone tried to hack. Someone tried to hack Dear Bop. I will show you what they did. They did, or what they were attempting to do is called a injection, a SQL injection, SQL injection. And they were trying to inject the database with custom SQL queries and CC code, C++ code, or PHP code, I guess. Technically PHP code. They were trying to run custom SQL and PHP code from a database SQL injection. However, it would also appear that these were the dumbest hackers on the planet, although they did put in a fair amount of work to attempt to put in this SQL injection. They literally had no idea what the F they were doing because perhaps they didn't think ahead. But number one, this was a completely custom piece of software, which meant it didn't rely on any existing software. So one, they had no idea what, if any, SQL injections it might have been vulnerable to. So that's a big tell. And you know how I can tell that they didn't know that they were basically just trying to find a random 1 in a million chance that this was there? Because the Dear Bop database, hell, the Dear Bop server doesn't have a fucking database. It doesn't run on a database. The Dear Bop server, there is no database. I don't know what they were trying to inject, but it wasn't going anywhere because there is no way to inject anything because it just fucking doesn't exist. I double checked that the database on this particular server, had no usernames or no databases prior to Thursday. They had no databases or any of it as of today. They didn't create any in the last day. The last week, there were none to speak of. There's still none. So I deleted any database there might have been, which there wasn't. I deleted any tables they made, which they hadn't. And no idea why somebody wasted their time and my time. But it is what it is. No database created, no database destroyed, no database lines entered at all, except they clearly wasted time attempting to find a SQL server which just didn't exist. But we do have two Dear Bops for today. And the first one just says, "Hi, Bob," which is a For All Mankind reference. Hi, Bob, indeed. I wasn't planning on doing the Dear Bops at the moment, but being I already clicked on one accidentally, let's do the other one. Dear Bob, I am half Vulcan on my father's side and half human on my mother's. I was born on Earth, raised by my mother in my early years. When I was young, living on Earth, it seemed that life was so wonderful. In a miracle, oh, it was beautiful, magical. I remember all the birds in the trees. They'd be singing so happily, oh, joyfully and playfully, watching me. But then Father sent me to teach me how to be a sensible, logical, responsible, practical. He took me to Vulcan and showed me a world where I could be so dependable, clinical, intellectual, cynical. I miss the youth of Earth and my mother. I miss those days of happy games. My father says, watch what you say, or they'll be calling you a radical, a liberal, a fanatical, or a criminal. I should sign up for meditation, and I would become acceptable, respectable, presentable, a vegetable. There are times at night when all the world is asleep, the questions run too deep in my mind. I search for a simple time. Please tell me what I should do. I know it sounds absurd. Please tell me who I am, because I am not feeling so logical. Indeed, you're not. I'm half Vulcan on my father's side and half human on my mother's. If that is a serious question, then the only Vulcan I am ever familiar with that was half Vulcan and half human from a father Vulcan, and a human mom is you must be, when all else is ruled out, only what remains, however illogical, must be the truth, then you must be Spock of Vulcan, son of Cybok, son of Amanda. You are Spock. And if you're not Spock, then you should let me know. And you should also let Paramount know that somebody probably owes Gene Roddenberry and Dorothy Fontana and whoever the people who originally created the original Spock some money, because that's way too close to Spock's setup to be an example. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. 47 Yorktown is in the chat, says, hello, young sirs. Uh, the Traveler says it's also better for the whales. Mike Richards says to John DeMarco, I wish you would quit reading my mind. John DeMarco says, oops. 47 says, hello, young sir. The Traveler says, wow, bird caught up in the chat. 76 AI, dear Bobs. Damn Turtlestanning hack. I don't know if they were AI. It was probably just stupid. Like these hackers, they weren't all that smart at their job. John DeMarco says, nice try, Prometheus. Dan Van says, say what? Carlo Albanese says, I ain't dumb. That was just the distraction. And LDG says, here it comes. Carlo says, rant. The Traveler says, get mad, bird, yell, get angry. The Traveler says, so, who was the hacker, Salty or LDG? And Carlo says, dear Bob. Dan Van says, long dear Bob. Stanley says, don't worry, your mom's fine. Dan Van says, are some of these lyrics from a song? And LDG says, if it was LDG, I would not have been an attempted hack. Yeah, sure it wouldn't. Stanley says, the Dan Van, I think he might be off key. Dan Van says, any of these lyrics from Supertramp, logical song. Dan Van says to Stanley, yeah. Stanley says, do Vulcans have any other pointy bits? The Traveler says, did Spock write this? Stanley says, and are Klingons ribbed kind of like their foreheads? Everything about a Klingon is ribbed. The Traveler says, Dan Van, so Spock wrote the logical song. Dan Van is thinking. Positive Candor says, Kapla, Berto Prey. My 60th birthday yesterday is 4 days away. Yvette says, Bird, I just sent you a picture on Messenger. You might want to show it. Uh-oh. Is that safe? Is that safe to show? Let's check. Let's check. Yvette says, I bought these today. Haven't plucked them up the courage to try them yet. Christmas pudding flavor. What are these? Limited edition, festive colors, festive flavors. Walkers, sweet and spiced Christmas pudding flavor. Interesting. They appear to be like a single serving size of, say, like Doritos or something. Christmas pudding flavor from Walkers, which is apparently the what are they called? My God, potato chips. A potato chip. A British style potato chip. Similar to Lay's. But yeah. Similar to a US potato chip. Positive Candor says Kapla, Bird Prey 5. My 60th birthday is only 4 days away. Kapla, positive candor. Indeed, your 60th is 4 days away. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will be 60 years old on November 7th. November 7th, Tuesday of next week. Tuesday of next week is the second Tuesday of the month and also the usual day for this month's member stream. It may change as we get closer, but I will be around at this point. I plan to be around then, so wish everybody a happy birthday. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yvette's bird, I just sent you a picture. You might want to show. Carlo Albanese says, come on. They were 6-year-olds in school learning something new. Don't call them dumb. They'll get there. The Traveler says, positive candor. Happy early birthday. So young. Yvette says they are crisps or chips to you. The Traveler says, Vertebrae 5. I gotta run, guys. Have a great day, everyone. You have a great day, the Traveler. Walkers are lays, says Yvette. Yeah, they're the right color for it. So walkers are lays. Dan Ben says walkers are crisps. The UK have similar packaging to Lay's potato chips in America. JP says it's a crisp. God damn it. M Trent 100 says chips, crips. It's a crisp. God damn it. My JPs. Dan Van says Walker's Crips don't have some weird flavors over the years, like squirrel. Oh my God, or Brussels sprout. I don't know which is worse. And Dan Van says, yeah, Chris, make them potatoes. None of them make those potatoes. Those potatoes were a wonder of the world. A wonder of the world. So we let them take it from us and get it sick and canceled. It's terrible. Anyway. Okay. What's this? Brussels sprouts are awesome. It says JP's. I thought it was Jedi Bill. I'm gonna say fine, Bill. If they're so awesome, how many of them can you eat? And how many can you eat in a double? Then 4 times. Yvette says, I love the Brussels sprout one. Oh my God. I can't even make up the Brussels sprouts among it. Positive Candace says, did you like or dislike the season finale of Lower Deck? Yeah, let's talk about Lower Deck. I did not like the season finale of Lower Decks, and I thought this. I did not love the finale of Lower Decks. If it had existed, I would have been really happy to see it end today. And I suspect that that's what the CBS had hoped would happen. It would just end today for me, would end for everybody who was watching that episode, and they'll just make a new one after the premiere died. For whatever reason, they seem to want to make it on the other side of a wall in its own custom bubble. I find that a waste of time. They should just say that, to them it's all bullshit. Maybe it's Captain Picard, Captain, going through this, trying to force them to go through it. Just let them rescue or whatever this damn person, and then come out of it with, it was his plan. He saw on the back, he saw that his nephew or whoever it is was in escape or at risk. He wanted to get the Vulcan that's been chasing them involved. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This whole thing is very suspect at who put him there to begin with. Mm. Mm. Yvette loves the Brussels sprout. Dan Ben says, yeah, I know that, Yvette. JP's says potatoes are good for only two things: friends and the vodka. Positive Candace says, did you like or dislike the season finale of Lower Deck? I would say I disliked. I disliked this season of Lower Decks. Maybe it was technically last season of Lower Decks. Yeah, I guess it's technically last season of Lower Decks. Whenever they casually change the ship and then change the ship back, that's just bullshit. That's way too much work for way little credit. Jedi Bill says Wordle today? ? We'll probably do Birdle today. Birdle today, Jedi Bill, not Wordle. JP says, I could eat a whole bag of frozen Brussels sprouts. And JP says, no spoilers, please. No spoilers. Now, I was not in favor of putting out spoilers. I mean, let me write up a really long intro for a really short question. Let's see. What would you say? In front of me is, as you can see, the ever open, completely open time to what's that? Ever open. It's the place where you would cut a Christmas tree and get a second Christmas tree to put over the first. We'll go ahead and take it, and I will give it a minute. See if anybody can figure it out. And if not, put the bedpan down and give it a second. I'm going to pause the talking for a minute. So if we have to get somebody under me or somebody ready to get their headphones, we can. I'm here, JP. That's here. Lower Decks suck. Okay. My problem with Lower Decks was still the same thing as last week. I don't know if I ever got into it, but basically, okay. And well, I feel like enough of us watch watch the channel that we all pretty much. I feel like if you watch the show and you watch whether something bigger points than others, I don't think anything I'm saying is a surprise if you've been watching. But the problem is when you have parents of somebody on Mars, that it's just not very believable. And it's certainly not believable that a mother could be up there with a son who was both conceived on Mars and he himself is looking to leave Mars mentally fixed, but he's obviously not looking to leave Mars if he's not able to get himself fixed. Wait. I have confused Lower Decks with For All Mankind. What was I talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am sorry. Yeah, I got tired. Yeah, I was nodding off to the Twilight Zone. Akeem, my option is fine. My option is fine. Yeah, I was just so tired. I was confusing For All Mankind with Lower Decks. Lower Decks, I'm annoyed.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right. You were saying about Lower Decks, which I have not seen.
No, you have not seen Lower Decks. No.
Are they on Mars also?
No. No, the Mars thing was totally from For All Mankind, which I liked.
There's somebody on For All Mankind that was conceived on Mars. Oh yeah. Never mind. You're not all that confused.
I'm not
I
all
am.
that confused.
Okay. Go back to your other story.
Did I say somebody was conceived on Mars?
Yeah. Yeah.
John DeMarco says, I think Bird has watched a different episode than I did. Either that or he's sleep reviewing. Yeah, I was sleep reviewing. Positive Candace says, Bird, are you describing Total Recall? Get your ass to Mars. Mike Richards is laughing. JP says, starting to worry there, Bird. If you're tired, my friend, call it a day and have a nap. Damn it, JPs, I've got to power through this. I've got to power through it.
Explain. You did watch those short in
Yeah, all day today I was watching For All Mankind videos. So that's why I got For All Mankind on the brain.
And it explains things.
And it explains things that aren't in the episodes. So I was, yeah, I gone down a For All Mankind rabbit hole. What am I trying to answer? Did you like or dislike the season finale of Lower Decks that Positive Candor asked 10 minutes ago? Okay. I did not like the season finale of Lower Decks. I am annoyed that they brought the real, whatever her face, the Bajoran girl, back in just to be just to have her part and have her say, um, when if you and this was, um, I believe it was Star Trek Nitpickers or Nitpicking Nerd. It was Nitpicking Nerd who was the first to bring it up, but I was also thinking it, but he got his video out very quickly, and he was like, one of the most important things, and the Lower Decks TNG episode is a powerful episode. Okay, the Lower Decks TNG episode is one of those very few powerful TNG episodes, and although it's lighthearted at point, it ends on being a very serious episode, and it's one of those episodes where you think everything's going to go well, and it doesn't, and it's tragic, and it really it hits you, it hurts you, you cry. It's one of those episodes where you may have even shed a tear. And there's not a whole lot of TNG episodes where you have to worry about tearing up after. Okay. But this, my God, is certainly one of them. And the fact that this woman, this girl, this woman, she dies. And we all know she dies, so I'm not spoiling anything. It's sad, and it's one of the few really impressionable, emotional moments that you get from Star Trek: The Next Generation. And so, yeah, it's, and don't get me wrong, we all know the show Lower Decks comes from that episode called Lower Decks. And it was a great episode. And it's also a great idea for a series. But the series that they came out with is in no way related to the episode, other than the very most basic premise was that this deals with the non-senior officers. This deals with the most lower, junior officers on the ship. Now, in the TNG series, they took it as a very serious episode, whereas in the Lower Decks series, they take it as a very humorous series. Then the fact that they want to trace it back to this very serious episode with still on a very humorous cast, I get real dirtiness. I feel dirty. I feel dirty watching this happen. I feel dirty applauding. I feel dirty laughing, and I feel dirty cheering, because No, they shouldn't be. They should not be. They should not be married. They should not be married. They shouldn't be brought together in any way whatsoever. And most importantly, because in the fucking dialogue itself from the original TNG episode, and this is what was broadly pointed out by Nitpicking Nerd, is that the Bajoran woman says up front to Picard, and it was one of the most powerful scenes in the whole fucking episode. She's like, how dare, like, you don't know what it was like to be going through the to be going through the academy after all this went down. I didn't have a single friend. Nobody wanted to be my friend. Nobody. She had to do it alone. That there was this. She was ostracized. She was a person non grata. And you're thinking, you're listening, and you're like, holy shit. Did we have her judged wrong? But then in, this episode of Lower Decks, for the sole purpose of making Mariner, I don't know, fit into a joke, she's like, oh, Mariner was there. Mariner was her best friend. Mariner. And I'm like, no, don't get me wrong. I like Mike McMahon for the most part. He shows that he knows his Trek well. But no, Mike McMahon, you don't get to ruin, to bring down one of the most serious Star Trek episodes, Next Generation episodes of all time, just to fit Mariner into a fucking storyline somewhere? Fuck you. No. Oh God, no. It makes me sick. It makes me legit sick to my stomach a little that this was allowed to happen. And as much as I say, well thought out stories, you give a pass to, and for the most part, Lower Decks, the TV show, Star Trek Lower Decks, has been a relatively decent show that I was more willing to give a pass in the past. This was too much. This was too much, and I immediately was sickened by the direction they took, and how much they wanted me to give up on it. No. And JP says, I could see it. I've been watching Quantum Leap, trying to catch up on the new show. Cito Jackson, yes, Cito, thank you, Positive Candor. LDG saying, dirty bird. What dirty bird? Rant. I'm not ranting. I'm just explaining. And Positive Candor says, Sassy does not forgive or forget. Well, that is true. Sassy does not forgive or forget. I don't know what that has to do with me explaining why I was not a big fan of Lower Decks. Now I'm rant-splaining. John DeMarco says, it sounds like you're saying that you can't live with it. I'm saying Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the decision to bring, what's it, Cito Jaxa into lower decks wasn't better for me, wasn't better for you, and it wasn't better for them. In fact, the only thing it was better for was Mike McMahon. It doesn't pass the Gracie test. Okay? Is it better for me? Is it better for you? Is it better for the whales? No, no, no. Then you're right, John DeMarco. I can't live with that. Dan Ben says, yeah, I hate when TV shows flash back to something previously and they add current characters that weren't previously there originally. I mean, I'm okay with it if it makes sense, but this clearly is the exact opposite of what Cito was saying. Unless they just want to say, hey, guess what? Cito was a liar the entire time. Cito was a master manipulator. Yeah, maybe that was it. Jean-Luc Picard, he wasn't an excellent judge of character. He was manipulated by some 19-year-old crazy Bajoran bitch. LDG says, Bird, tell us about the time when you were explaining to LDG how big 120 millimeters was. Okay, I kind of got confused, and he was telling me he had a 120 millimeter fan, and I was thinking 12 millimeters. And I said, yeah, how big is that? And then now granted, he did not just say you're crazy and I'm right. He stopped and he had to go measure to be sure he was right. And then he came back like 2 minutes later, and I'm glad he did. And he said, by the way, I was right this whole fucking time. And 120 millimeters indeed was the 12 centimeters I was thinking, and not the 1.2 centimeters I had mixed it up in my mind to be. Dan Ben says, is that why at the beginning of season 2, Mariner was doing that Cardassian prison escape holodeck program? Dan, I don't know. Positive Candace says, in season 3, ruined Rose character too. Oh, Picard. I don't know that it ruined her character so much as it killed her. Or at least, of course, according to Terry Matalas, Ro might not be dead. Basically, anybody they don't want to be dead isn't necessarily dead. It's season three of, I'm just positive candidate, season 3 of Picard or season 3 of Lower Decks? Because this was season 4 of Lower Decks. So yeah, I don't recall Ro being in season 3 of Lower Decks. My God, what the hell was I thinking about? Did I talk about some pregnancy on Mars?
Yeah.
See, it's not, I wasn't talking about, and I don't want to give away for all mankind, but I wasn't talking about that. I have no idea what the hell I was talking about. Yeah. That was a weird one. Okay, Picard. Picard. Okay. Uh, so, mm, let's mm, let's check. It is November 3rd. Today is National Homemaker Day. Homemaker. It's like being a mommy. That's how you describe it in The Simpsons. It's also National Sandwich Day. As one of America's most popular lunch items, we celebrate and enjoy sandwiches today. Cliche Day. Cliches, now funny earworms, are used to be about the impact of the saying. It is Culture Day, Japan. On Culture Day, Japan, immerse yourself in Japanese culture and find out more about this day. That sounds like a great day to have some sushi. Dan Ben says Lower Decks made Selma Gomez a captain. Season 2. TNG season 2. She was the one who spelt the hot chocolate on Captain Picard. Yes, I'm aware. And Positive Canada yells, yes. Dan Van says Star Trek Picard season 3 had Shelby. Yep, had her too. And Dan Van says, I love sandwiches. I'm eating one right now with wafer thin chicken. Dominican Independence Day, Fountain Pen Day. Let's fall in love with writing as we celebrate these elegant, unique writing instruments. I don't think I've ever written with a fountain pen, probably for the best. Give someone $1 day. $1 may seem small, but it could have significant value to the person receiving it. You know, maybe 20, 30 years ago, not so much these days, but I used to give away money. I used to hide. I'd hide $1 here and there when I could. I uh, I uh, I I actually I I cursed. I cursed $1 once. Wasn't the nicest thing for me to do, but I was angry. I back when I was younger, and I knew we were losing our house. We were going to be forced to move out of our house, and I was angry. In hindsight, it wasn't the fault of whoever the new owners were going to be, but you know, I did some things I wasn't proud of. I dumped trays, not trays. Uh, um, what's it? Uh, uh, Boxes, I guess, with packs whatever Chinese food comes in. I dumped a tremendous amount of Chinese food into holes between the walls of the basement, half finished basement. No, they would never find it. They were never going to find this unless they pulled down the exterior walls. Oh my God, I can only imagine the smell that must have been coming. Then money, right. So, I had my bedroom was the basement. Um, and, the carpeting was, it was this tile carpeting, maybe 18 inches, 12 to 18-inch tiles, 12 by 12, or maybe realistically, maybe it was like 14 by 14, or I don't think it was 18 by 18, but I think it was bigger than 12 by 12. I mean, it was like maybe it was 16 by 16 inches, and it was all glued down, and it was really stuck down really well. But you could pull it up and replace it if you really had to. So I pulled one of them up and put a dollar bill underneath it, and of course it was cursed. So how do you curse a dollar bill? You just For me, I figured all you had to do was write "cursed" on it in a black marker. So I wrote "cursed" in a black marker, and I put the bill under the carpet and put the carpet back down. And, to my brain at the time, it was a perfect rhyme. It didn't look like anything had been touched or adjusted. And I figured, God knows if they ever pull the carpeting out. And if they did, if anybody would even notice it was there, who knows? But in my mind, they probably would. And maybe by the time they got rid of it, the smell would just be coming out of these walls of where the meat would have completely rotted away at that point, leaving just skeletons. Oh, there were pieces of chicken, there were pieces of fish. Who knows? Who knows what in those things? Probably in hindsight, maybe it was all too salty to properly rot. So you know what? Maybe it probably didn't even do all that much. But then there was the stuff I put in the vents. Now again, I was in the basement, so it's not like I could push it in the vent to fall down, but I could push it as far as I could out of sight. So I did what I could. Mama Frey has never heard about any of this, mind you. She's not saying a word, but because this is all new to her. I've never told this to anybody. Yeah, this is stuff I did on my own. So yeah, I feel bad. I do. I really, I wouldn't have done it had I know what I know now. That said, I also would never buy. I would not buy a house out of at an auction without having the ability to inspect it thoroughly, and with the probably would only buy it with the expectation that I was tearing the whole thing down and rebuilding it. But doesn't appear like I'm going to be in. Yeah, it doesn't appear like I'm going to be in the place of buying a such a house at any point. Anyway, so. It is Jellyfish Day. Check out suggestions for a jelly good time on this Jellyfish Day. It's Love Your Lawyer Day. Let us highlight and celebrate all the important works of our legal luminaries. It's National Accessory Day. If you adore shoes, bags, or dainty silver bracelets, you have to celebrate them. Nope, and no thank you. National Housewife Day. Prepare to celebrate these individual women who dedicate so much to their families. Not to be mistaken with National Homemaker Day. It's the National Housewife Day. National Jersey Friday. Jerseys are the ultimate symbol of fandom, signifying our allegiance to a sporting team. Or just a number, apparently. Or just a number. And LDG, Free the Net, with a $5 super chat, says, remember, folks, today is tomorrow's yesterday, the closest thing to time travel we've got. So change your future now. Dan Ben says, I love sandwiches. I'm eating one right now with the wafer thin chicken. I read that. Dan Ben is now playing a song. I need a dollar, that's what I need. Hey, well, I need a dollar, that's what I need. I'm assuming that's how it sounds. Sung. Mike Richards says, Bird is a vengeful God Emperor. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, that sounds like a deathbed confession. Well, not the deathbed, but it is a confession. I didn't think of it much until that dollar. That dollar under, I always wondered what happened, that dollar under the carpet. Like, had I ever, been walking, one day I figured I'd walk back to that house, knock on the door, ask if they ever did. I understand this entire house basement was underwater from Hurricane Sandy. If nothing else, the entire neighborhood was underwater. Hey, thank you, LDG, for the super chat. It's a fake. Yeah, so the entire water, no doubt the basement has been, I am sure, stripped and clear everything, power washed or whatever, multiple times from back in the 80s or early 90s, whenever this was. It had to have been. Okay. It had to have been. At least once. It had to have. So, but I always wondered if I ever went back, if the same person who bought the house would still be living there. Oh, you're the one who cursed the house? You're the one where I found, why was there an order of spare ribs in the heat vent? Why was there an order of spare ribs in the heat vent? I say, well, sir, I was very upset. I was only, 12 years old? I don't remember. Wasn't 14, maybe? I wasn't, can't be held, I can't be held liable for my actions. But if you had that dollar, I will uncurse the house. I would offer. I would offer. Positive Candor says, I'm going back in time exactly 1 hour Saturday night, Sunday morning. Oh, that's right. That's right. We all are, except those in Arizona who don't celebrate. Yes, of course, Europe already did. It's also Separation Day. All tales of freedom deserve to be heard, as we can't resist patriotism and passion. I have no idea what Separation Day is. Apparently, it's some other country, I guess. It's Smart Home Day, which, Life with Matthew would probably enjoy, since he's a smart home guy, I guess, after his most recent video. And finally, it is Victory Day for the Maldives. Whatever. The victory, get ready to set parades and flag hoisting to celebrate the victory of the Maldives government. Maldives Day. Okay. Now let's get ready for some Wordle. November 3rd. November 3rd, Wordle, guys. 5-letter word. 5-letter word to get me started. Dan Ben says Claire's Accessories. Housewives of New Jersey. And Dan Ben says, yeah, it does. Song by Aloe Black. Miss Lindell's Groovy Movie says that story was so New Orleans voodoo. That's what I was going for. That's what I was going for. Real New Orleans voodoo. Arise, thank you. Arise, JP's, with a serious word to start us off with. What do we got? Yes, A and R in the right place. Awesome. Okay. AROUN. No, goddamn. There's not enough letters there for around. Arrow. ARROW. We could do that. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice. And so ARXOR. Okay, so we know it ends in R, so we just need one letter. Arker, Artur, Ayor, Harper, Arthur, Arthur, Argor, Argor, a whore, a whore, a yor, a jor, Arjor, Arcor, Arlor, Arzor, Arcor, 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 Arvor, Arbor. National Arbor Day. Oh no, it's not Arbor. Fuck. Armor. Armor. It's not Armor. Armor. Oh no. Arbor. Arcor. No, that's not a word. Nor. Arror. No. Arlor. Arcor. Ark. Arj. Uh-oh. A whore. Jor. Arfor. Ardor. Ardor. What the fuck does that even mean? Ardor. 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 Euthanism or passion. They felt the stirrings of revolutionary ardor. Does ardor mean love? Ardor is a strong, intense feeling of love or euthanism for someone or something. Yeah, we got Wordle, but I had no idea what it meant. Nobody knew what it meant. Does Mr. Lundell, does he know what it means? He hasn't answered if he knows what it means. He was suggesting Armor. See, Mike Richards was suggesting Arbor. JP's is lolling. Ardor. Mr. Lundell. Yeah, I guess he had not done it first. Sorry if I spoiled it for anybody. So, let's check up on the news. New York City has green slime bubbling up from the underground, the surprising source. It's just supposedly green dyed to look for leaks. Let's see.
Nothing yet.
FBI raid of Adams' ally brings corruption question to mayor's doorstep. Uh-huh. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is leaving Seattle for Miami. It's a shocker. Forgot. I feel like Google is changing the news they show me. WoW Classic, Catalysm Classic announced World of Warcraft. I still think of World of Warcraft as the new Warcraft. I thought the old Warcraft is the classic Warcraft. Warcraft Rumble official game launch trailer. Yeah. Is that actual Warcraft or new Warcraft? Maybe check that out. Yeah, that's. Oh, that looks like. That looks. Oh, no. I don't know. This is exactly what the fans want and the franchise needs. You never disappoint, living epic failures again and again. Yeah, okay. I can't deal with this. I cannot deal with that. That's not a Warcraft thing. The latest Gboard update has a hidden scan tool for text around you. New Beatles video. For me, Biden quietly taped Obama to help shape his AI, tapped Obama to help shape his AI strategy. Google rolls out urgent Pixel update for Android 14 media bug. Uh-oh. Echo will be the first Marvel show to hit Disney Plus and Hulu simultaneously. Inverse, 41 years later, Star Trek just rebooted its most infamous sci-fi technology, the Genesis device, no doubt. Passenger's backpack catches fire as plane takes off from JFK Airport. That is not good. NASA reveals first sample collected from potentially hazardous asteroid Bennu to public, and it may contain the seeds of life. That does not mean that one of the workers left his seed in the sample. Let's see what's going on. 41 years later, Star Trek rebooted the most infamous technology. As all good sci-fi fans know, the ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of Genesis. In Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the concept of a doomsday weapon was flipped on its head with the introduction of the Genesis device. Gizmodo that could not only wipe out all existing life on the planet, but also create life on a planet that had none. and a secret base from which to plan the annihilation of the Klingon people. We demand justice. We demand Kirk. Remember this. There shall be no peace as long as Kirk lives. Interstellar Treaty. 9 violations. Interstellar. This is outrageous. As far as overpowered sci-fi plot devices go, Genesis might beat the Death Star simply because of the dual nature of its power. Because of this, mentions of the Genesis device in Trek canon have been sparse over the last 4 decades. Even an Easter egg for the new version was a blink and you'll miss it moment in Picard Season 3. But now the Season 4 finale of Lower Decks, the Genesis device is back in its brilliantly subversive way. This version is a bootleg, and yet, despite being a literal knockoff the original, Lower Decks manages to understand the deeper meaning of this old school idea. Spoilers ahead. In their old friends' new planets, after discovering former Starfleet bad boy Nick Locarno had assembled an ad hoc fleet of derelict lower officers of disaffected lower officers from a variety of powers and planets, Mariner learns that Locarno's biggest bargaining chip is a knockoff Genesis device. But this one has a quirk the original didn't have. If you want to press the cancel button, you have to pay money. The original didn't have a cancel button. By the end of this episode, this Genesis device detonates, just like in the Wrath of Khan, a new planet is created. Lower Decks previously recreated other elements of the Wrath of Khan, as Mariner stole a Steamrunner-class Starfleet ship, and played cat and mouse with Locarno in the rings of a nearby planet. But other than a brief Easter egg in Picard Season 3, the only other time the Genesis device has been referenced outside the classic movie is in one episode of Voyager, the Omega Directive, when Janeway compares her predicament to that of Genesis creator Dr. Carol Marcus. Although Khan accidentally created the Genesis planet at the end of Wrath of Khan, the subsequent film, The Search for Spock, established the technology was unstable, allowing it to be written out. Lower Decks smartly references classic Trek films by pairing Locarno with the Genesis device. You might think of Khan and The Search for Spock, Scrooge, as being totally different league than a pipsqueak villain like Locarno, but there is one commonality. They're all unaffiliated and making it up as they go along. Khan stole a ship and flew by the seat of his pants. Scrooge acted against orders of the Klingon state and risked his tiny crew to get the secret of Genesis from Kirk, who was also going rogue. So when Kirk fights Scrooge on the Genesis planet, they both have a lot in common with the lower deckers. Kirk is a washed-up has-been. What show were they watching? Kirk was a washed-up has-been? Kirk is a washed-up has-been. Even now, at fucking 90 years old, he's not a has-been. And Scrooge can't follow orders. The Genesis device metaphorically exists on the edge of what we'll accept in Star Trek canon, which is why it's almost never been touched since. But what the Lower Deck Season 4 finale clarifies is that the way to make the Genesis story work is to push the heroes and villains to the edge of respectability. The Genesis device is an invention of desperation, so it makes sense that Mariner's catharsis is wrapped up in the bootleg version. No, it doesn't make any sense. I didn't get any feeling this was a bootleg version. Why is it bootleg? Similarly, Nick Locarno is thermatrically aligned with everything a reset button for life represents, a shortcut for a new beginning. But the storytelling of Lower Decks in 2023 works the same way it did with Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock. Search in the 80s. Even when the Genesis device works, it doesn't work correctly because even in sci-fi narratives, you can't really reboot life. And in the face of annihilation, you have to put Kirk or Mariner and give everyone a fighting chance to live. No cheat codes allowed. No. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. NASA reveals first sample collected and potentially hazardous. New to public. You see, they want to tell us that the sample is potentially hazardous, but it's not. It's not. The asteroid is potentially hazardous because in 50 years it might hit Earth, but it's not. It's not. They're just trying to scare us. The sample from the asteroid Bennu collected by the OSIRIS-REx mission was unveiled at the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C. on Friday. An Earth-threatening asteroid may be the last thing you want to see, unless it's in the confines of a museum. Today, November 3rd, Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History revealed the first public display of a sample collected from the asteroid Bennu, which NASA deems a potentially dangerous object. The sample, 3.5 to 8.8 ounces, 100 to 250 grams. They still don't know how much they brought back of rocky space rubble collected by the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft is thought to contain some of the earliest precursors to life and is the first chunk of a space rock ever grabbed by a NASA mission. NASA first revealed the sample on October 11th after it hurtled back to Earth aboard the OSIRIS-REx capsule at speeds up to 27,000 miles per hour. After a 7-year, 4 billion mile round trip, the capsule deployed its parachute and safely landed in the Utah desert before being transported to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where scientists began analyzing contents for signs of life beyond our planet. The OSIRIS-REx mission is an incredible scientific achievement that promises to shed light on what makes our planet unique. Kirk Johnson, the Sant director of the National Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C., said in a statement, "With the help of our partners at NASA, we are proud to put one of these momentous samples on display to the public for the first time." Bennu is a potentially hazardous asteroid that has a 1 in 2,700 chance of striking Earth in the year 2182, the highest odds of any known space object. But the scientists are more interested in what's trapped inside the space rock, the possible extraterrestrial precursors to life on Earth. Miss Lundell is answering as to what the word meant. Ardor, passion, youtheism, emotional outpour. Positive candidate yells, "Call Ghostbusters." And he says, "I heard that City Skylines is a bit messy." Yes, City Skylines is an awful mess. Back. City to, let's see. Let's see. It's reviews are mixed. Reviews are mixed. I have not. I bought it. I tried to install it. It ran, but it did not run well. And I haven't played it. I haven't played it. It's not worth playing. I probably will wait till I upgrade my computer to actually play it. Yeah. Somebody wrote here, I tried to like CS2. I really did. I can ignore the performance issues and bugs. These are things I see being fixed over the short term with some patches and optimization. However, there are much bigger issues you need to be aware of. There are numerous simulations in the game that have such foundational flaws in them. I believe this game is the most fake city builder of them all. This game is marked as the most realistic city builder ever, with multiple levels of simulation in the city, sims, economy, services, and traffic. Unfortunately, there are huge flaws in each area of the simulation. Yeah, I think they much like SimCity 2013, they tried to do too much and unfortunately failed miserably. I just don't see this being more fun. Even in watching people who have, top of the line computers. So it's not that they have to worry about performance. It's just no more, it's not fun. It's not fun anymore. And it's like they did exactly what made SimCity 2013 suck. Now, granted, they were able to do it with bigger maps. And I would say, but yeah, my biggest problem with SimCity 2013 was the map size. And okay, that's true. That was my biggest problem. So they fixed that. But everything else also kind of sucks. The whole purpose of adding instead of giving us 2 or 3 options for the size of a school or a firehouse or a police station, you put down the police station and then you add to it. You add extra. You can add extra departments. You can add extra on the fire station. You can add extra garages for more fire trucks. In the hospital, you can add extra wings for the hospital to make it bigger. But they all kind of look exactly the same. They all just, you get an option of if you want it to look North American or European. Other than that, they all look exactly the same. The school, the college, the university, and they say, oh, well, now it's even more important. The college, the schooling, it makes all more difference, and they follow your Sims. Your Sims are more important. What happens, and you're like, well, I don't want that much detail. And like, what the hell? Like, do I need to put in a college and a university? Now it seems to be that they're 2 different things. Why? Why do I need a college and a university? It doesn't make any sense. Oh no, yeah. City Skylines 2, thumbs down. Maybe it'll come better. but I don't. Hey, Addy Goes Places. You know, check out Addy Goes Places. He plays City Skylines. Positive Canvas says, I've streamed City Skylines 2 a few times. It has some issues. Miss Londell says, how the hell would life exist in a cold, highly radioactive vacuum? Well, it's possible, Miss Londell. It wouldn't be life as we know it, but it could be life. Yvette says, if there was anything dangerous in the asteroid sample, it would not be public knowledge. This is just the usual fear tactic from ever-increasing shitty media. I agree. Addy Goes Places says, Joe is only bitter because City Skylines 2 won't run on his 386 with 4 megabytes of RAM. Yeah, you know, I am a little pissed. Mike Richards says, and it's coal-powered to boot. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to Addy Goes Places. I see Captain Phantom Nerd and Addy streams once in a while. Mike Richards says that's why he's getting soot in his eye. That's why he's always getting soot in his eye. Wow, these are actually more not recommended than I think. You don't get sympathy points for warning people the game is unoptimized mess. You delay until you're sure the player base can actually play it. I agree. Save your money and wait for a sale in 6 months. Don't spend time trying to get it to work because you can't get a refund if you've been in the game more than 2 hours. The negative reviews about performance you see are accurate, even if your hardware is more than adequate. The game should have been had another few months of QA before release. I wonder if I've been in less than 2 hours. I wonder if I can get a refund. Not that I really care that much, but just for the principle of it, maybe. Dan Ben says a UK, a college university are separate places of education. Yeah, but like you go to college and then university? Or is it you make a choice between you go to a college or a university? I mean, I get a university degree is probably a bit better than a college degree. But, I mean, in the United States, you go to a college or a university. They basically the same. They all come in after high school. LDG says yeah, a refund. Yeah. But that's a point. What bird? Yeah, LDG. I would consider a refund for City Skylines too. You changed your mind, eh? Well, it is a bit annoying. Although I said I'd wondered if I'd spent 2 hours in it or not. Played this game 0.6 hours. 0.6 hours. Huh. Okay, well, it might be too late to get a refund anyway, but it's something to consider. Yvette says you go to college to get A levels. Dan Ben says after you leave school, you can choose to go to college. After college, you can go to higher education, which is university, if you can get into one. Ms. Lundell says it takes a group of colleges to combine to make a university, which is why you'll have a college of medicine, a school of architecture, a school of engineering, all at the same university. Yvette says then you can go to university to get a degree or a doctorate. Damn it, I went to college when I was 16, 17, then I did more, then did no more education. So let's check. No more dear pops. Okay, guys. Well, I guess we will call it a day here. Sorry I was falling asleep on you. Yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is. We'll see. Next time we'll be back on standard time with the rest of the world, I guess. Kapla all, I guess. Bird out. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Thank you guys for the super chats, the donations. Appreciated. And I feel like everyone have a good weekend. Monday will be the next Bed Life. And hello.
Hello, is Delia there?
Delia is not here anymore.
I'm Stephanie calling on behalf of Republican leadership and the Republican National Committee on a Recorded Line. I'll be brief.
No.
You're having a great day. We want you to know that we're here at the RNC are fighting every day to re-elect Republicans who will restore the American dream for every American. And I will update our records. And just so you're aware, contributions or gifts to the Republican National Committee are not deductible as charitable contributions for federal income tax purposes. This call has been paid for by the Republican National Committee and is not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. RNC is located at 310 First Street, Southeast Washington, D.C. 20003. For additional information, please visit us at www.gop.com. 202-863-8500. Thank you for your time and have a great day, okay?
No, it's not okay, Stephanie. What is that? That sounds like something the Democrats are behind. Like all they did was call and say, we're calling to bother you. And this call is being brought to you by the GOP. And here's their phone number and address. They didn't even ask for anything. What the fuck was that? And Delilah, who it doesn't even make any bit of fucking sense. All they did was call me to say, hey, schmuck, this phone call is being paid for you by the Republican National Committee. Not any specific person, just the whole fucking thing. Don't hold anyone accountable. Hold all Republicans responsible for the fact that we're calling you at an inconvenient time. We're not even asking you to vote for anything. We're not asking for any specific money. We're just like, hey, are you upset? Good. You can call us and be more upset. Oh my God. Bonus rant. Bonus rant. Kapla. Good night.